All right. Happy MLK Day. Good people, we are definitely back for another open court discussion live in the Counselor's Corner. I am your host, David Lorenzo Glover, aka the Controversial Counselor. Joining me is my co host, the Big Bad Wolf, Herb Lewis. That's a long one. That's a long one. That might be for a long night. And just hopefully we could pull Brother Willie A. Price speaks the absolute truth in the panel. Last time we met, we talked about the importance of non disclosure agreements and relationships. Please feel free to go back and watch the replay on the Controversial Counselors YouTube channel, as well as the short reels on Facebook, TikTok, IG, and YouTube. Now, moving forward to tonight, January 15th. The topic of discussion will be she is looking good on the outside, but what's going on with her on the inside? We really need to take a look at body dysmorphia disorder, disorder, a mental health condition where a person spends a lot of time worrying about flaws in their appearance. We will attempt to cover many areas such as symptoms, for example, constantly checking yourself in the mirror. Two, trying to hide your body parts under a hat, scarf, or covering your face with makeup. Some risk factors: having blood relatives with BDD, and that's just the body morphia disorder. So I'll abbreviate and say that BBD, or obsessive compulsive disorder, negative life experiences, childhood teasing, neglect, or abuse. These are just to get you thinking and just think what social media has done as far as the overexposure, people seeing different images and kind of wanting to emulate or figure like, hey, if they can look like that, I want to look like that too. And then they get caught up in that kind of mental state, and it can lead to preoccupation, depression, anxiety. So this should be a great one. Please like and share our video, and please tell a friend, coworker, family member to subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Controversial Counselor. I think we're sitting at I think 816 subs. So still trying to push. Goal is to get to 850, then knock out that 900. So here we have it. It's been a interesting day. You know, had the day off celebrating MLK Day. Then you got wild card football that happened today, and then we got this subject matter that's really important because a lot of people are walking around with mental illnesses, but they don't think they have one because you just never know. There's so many diagnoses for things, but if you think about it, and as we go deeper into this, a lot of folks got mental illnesses. And even when you think about, automatically you may assume that the BDD is mainly women. I mean, as far as the numbers, 60% women suffer from it, but then there's 40% men that suffer from it as well. So those numbers ain't too far off. So that's that. We'll get ready to go into that a little further. What's good? What's good with you, Herb?
Half of me is pleased, the other half is in disbelief. Michigan won, Dallas got smacked. I don't know. I know I had an interesting weekend at work though. And I suppose the longer I work the midnight shift, the more things, the more oddities I'm going to encounter. Without giving up too much information, we had a underage runaway. Um, Now I don't know where she was from. Apparently, she had signed herself out of a group home, and I'm not even sure how the hell that happens. But the record goes, or the story goes that she's from Rochester and she ends up in Niagara Falls. Now, I don't know how they got a credit card, wanted to check in, but nobody had ID, and then they were underage, which is a no-no in New York State. You have to be at least 21. So make a longer story a shorter story. And I have a rule. When you come in, if you're experiencing some hardship, um, something of that nature, I'm more than willing to let you sit in the lobby, put your feet up, keep warm, especially this time of year because I understand how things work out. But there was two couples, two African American, two Caucasian. I guess the Caucasian couple left. I don't know where they went, but at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, this young lady's mother shows up, and they couldn't get her to leave. I mean, they had to take her out with a police escort. And guess how they found out where she was? She's posted on social media. People,
Shit.
we were just talking about non-disclosure agreements last week. If you want to do something, you want to keep a secret, stay the hell off of social media, man. I don't know what to tell you, boys,
The addiction, man.
man. Yeah, man. It's almost addicting, man. But it's crazy. Then I had another situation. And fellas, let me be abundantly clear when I say this. Short of somebody putting their hands on you, especially the female, keep your hands off of women. Okay. There's nothing to be gained by that unless you're defending yourself. I had a situation where a young lady came in. She asked me if she could stand in the hotel for a few minutes because her boyfriend had been beating on her. Sure, absolutely. She stood off to my right for for about 5 minutes, and then she went and sat down. Now, the guy that apparently was the aggressor in the situation, because I don't know what happened, so I'm not going to say he did what she said she did. Don't make me difference one way or another. They start talking, and then they move closer to me and off to my left. And then he starts laying into her. And I call the man over. I said, yo, man, let me ask you a question. I said, how old are you? He said, 42. I said, how old is the young lady? He said, 38. I said, so why are you speaking to her like she's a kid? And he starts getting, verbose with me. And I'm the wrong person to do that with because I'm not going to tolerate your insolence. I'm not going to tolerate your boisterousness or all the hostility. And I told him, I said, look, dude, got a couple options here. You can talk to her normally or you can leave. And he wants to challenge my authority. Talk about, oh, she trespassing this. I'm like, dude, she ain't trespassing. Yes, she is. I said, according to whom? He said, me. I'm like, dude, listen, either you leave now or call the police. Oh, you going to do that? You going to do that? Yes. Because clearly you don't understand what I'm telling you. So he ends up leaving. And the young lady's parents came and, they thanked me and they went on about their business. Fellas, really, if if you can't control your alcohol, your impulsive nature, and you feel the need to beat on a female, leave her alone, man. Go your own way. But that type of nonsense I witnessed that night, unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Yeah. My grandfather used to always say this. You got to put your hands on a woman. You got to go one way. Got to leave it alone. You got to walk
Yeah,
away. Got to go. And
yeah.
he's like, and you better have your own vehicle, because sharing a vehicle ain't no option. So hopefully you have your own vehicle to get
And you know
away
what
to
the funny
ride
thing
off.
is? I think he was walking because when I left that morning, and this was it hadn't started snowing yet, so this was I think Saturday morning, and I rode my bike to work because it was still good enough. I see the bottle that he was holding all broke up on the sidewalk. I'm like, yeah, he got some problems. He got some issues. You need to go get this addressed. Yeah, he was walking, she was driving.
It's crazy, and during this time, it's like the dark days of the January, February, that seasonal affective disorder, and
Hmm.
people not out and about and may be stuck in the confines of their home, and which causes to be some tension. Some people just never get along. They just together, they pay bills, do whatever, and
Hmm.
now you always may have one other person a nitpicker, and just because they're aggravated they just come up with all types of shit, and then next thing people going at it. So
Yeah.
either you could utilize the winter months for cuddling and love making, or it could be a whole lot of domestic disputes as well, because you just don't have access. You can have access, but nobody likes to just be outside in the wintertime with no purpose,
And
taking walks or
yeah.
driving around.
But this is the funny thing. I personally like the winter because it's quiet, but I like the ice skate. And then I've said this before. You know, go do something that you rarely do, man. Um, I know some winter activities can be relatively expensive, but ice skating is about as cheap as you can actually get. In addition to that, you get some exercise in. If you got a boo or your wife or girlfriend, y'all can do this together. 15, 20 minutes, man. Go catch a matinee afterwards. Have a some hot chocolate. Go grab you a nice little meal. Once a week, I assure you, you fall in love with the winter. And unfortunately, everybody can't do this. You have to be in my area to do it. But on occasion, I've actually went down to the falls with people. It's cold as hell, but it's very picturesque. And I'm telling you, if you live in a place where you get those kind of winters where you can go um in a meadow somewhere or whatever the case is, man, do it. Go for a walk, man. Appreciate nature in all its facets, as cold as it is. Because in the summertime, you can be talking about, man, it's too damn hot to be doing anything. You got some people that no matter what the weather is, they're not happy. So enjoy it, man. Get out. Get out.
True, that's true. But all right, to tackle this subject matter of the body dysmorphia disorder, um, like I said, an introduction. This it's considered a mental illness, and let me just give you some more symptoms. I know I read one. If you wasn't on here, it said being extremely preoccupied with perceived flaws in appearance that to others can't be seen or appear minor. So sometimes it's just in your head. It's like little things that you may know about yourself and nobody else notice, but it's a flaw to you, and you're preoccupied with it. Mind racing, always thinking about it, and you might talk to other people and they might be like, everything is fine. You're fine. You're beautiful, or man, you're a nice looking guy, or whatever the case is. But it's there, and you know it, and you're kind of obsessed with it. A strong belief that you have a defect in your appearance that makes you ugly or deformed. And let's be honest, you can't tell now, but a lot of people don't like the way they look. They're uncomfortable with the way that they look. I don't know. Mainly kids may say it. Uh, Certainly, I hear it often at the school setting. You would, hear mainly young ladies or something may say it like, I'm ugly, nobody likes me, I don't have any friends, or other students are calling them ugly. So, but that kind of leads to this in adulthood, like the teasing as a child or an adolescent, that you start believing this stuff. And what else? Belief that others take special note of your appearance in a negative way or mock you. You're just paranoid. Somebody could be sitting there and they could be laughing about something else. You walk by, they're automatically talking about you. You know that they're talking about you. They were looking your way, but you were right in their path, but they wasn't saying anything about you. So this kind of starts off at a young age, but then in adulthood, you may see it too. That's why some people may not be comfortable with somebody saying, "Hey, it's closer to my job. Meet me here at happy hour. I'm going to be here. It's only 5 minutes away, so I'm just going to go straight from work." You may have someone that's uncomfortable walking into a spot by themselves because all eyes may be on them and they got this paranoia of people going to be looking at me. I don't know if my outfit is right. I don't like the way my body looks in this. This shit plays in people's heads like a record player over and over and over. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna see if Herb, you got anything to chime in as far as those symptoms, those few symptoms.
Oh man, like you said, a lot of this stuff, similar to a lot of things, if they're not resolved at a younger age and they carry over into adulthood, they had the propensity to really cripple an individual. And I know of one person personally who had, um I don't necessarily want to say demons, but she had some some deep seated issues, where she started to hit puberty, and a lot of things that occurred with her. And I don't think she ever really resolved those issues to the point where she could be a functional adult. She had got really, really heavy one time to the point where she had, the gastric bypass surgery. And this is before I knew anything of her. Like, I had met her. We had met. I don't want to give away too much. We had met somewhere, and and you know when I seen her, I was like, she was it. You know, swing my way it. And after talking to her for about a month or two, all the attractiveness, all the physical attributes, because she had implants as well. All that stuff masked the insecurities that she had never resolved, and that really plagued her. I don't know if it still does to this day. The last time I saw her was year before last, I think, at an event that was being held by an organization that I belonged to. And and I remember, when she walked in, I was like, oh, it was surreal. It was so surreal because she was the last individual that I thought I'd actually see at this particular event. And I had to compose myself. It was just wild. I was like, okay, what am I going to do if I have to deal with this individual? Just provide the service that I was supposed to be providing. And
Oh,
then it
so
dawned on me.
so when she walked in you because you knew her prior issues. I thought you were like she walked in like, oh damn, she fine as hell. Like, oh man, here
Oh
she
no, no,
go.
yeah, no. This
No,
is this is after her and I had,
oh, okay.
because we did our thing now. So when I say I know, I know. But she came in, came through my line, and it was just like I'd never seen her. That's how I had to play the role. It was like I'd never seen her, never met her. She's just another person that I'm processing. And when I got through that and learned something about myself, I can deal with any situation provided I don't react to whatever it is that is a stimulus. So that was the one thing that I learned that. But back to her, she had some, you know, and I don't think she was ever diagnosed, but personally to me, she was really the first person that I ever came across that struck me as a narcissist. And when I say it, I mean the classic textbook medical definition, because no matter what occurred, it was always somebody else's fault. And because I'm a borderline sadist, I go back and I looked at our messages between ourselves, and I'm just like, yeah, she was different. You know, and I understand all the underlying issues she had. You know, because she had some body issues. You know, and I think those were more due to the fact that she didn't like how she was developing, and it was I'd never met anyone like that. And I don't think I ever will. Hopefully, never. But I will say this much. Yeah, it, it was Jermaine's fault. But man, it was no pun intended. It was one hell of a ride. You know, dealing with this individual, if I can say that, because at a particular point in time, that's what it became. That's what it became. I mean, it was just like, what do you do with an individual who outwardly is probably everything that a guy could probably want in a woman. But once you started peeling back the layer, man, it was just like, yo, you need help.
Mhm. All
You
right.
need help. Like you used to say, you need counseling. She needed
Yeah.
counseling.
What's going on, Anita Baker? She's sipping right now.
Hi.
Do you know? Do you know what the topic is?
Yes, I'm sipping on my Moscato.
Do, do you know what the topic is?
I sure do.
Okay, so feel free to chime in, or we were just going over some of the symptoms, and then Herb gave an example of someone he, you know, had connections with that suffered some of this characteristics of someone with BDD.
Hmm. So, from what I've learned, it more or less develops in teenage years, preteen, teenage years. I think that's the age where, like, you want to fit in with a certain social group in high school, and you're just noticing how other people act and look and talk and their socioeconomic status, um, and especially girls, they can be mean and very judgmental. And I learned a lot in high school about that. And there was also a point where I did not want to go to school without makeup on because I felt, I guess I will say, I felt unpretty, and I felt like I looked prettier with makeup on. And now in my adult years, I'm like, yeah, I could, depending on where I'm going and what I'm doing, I could take it or leave it. But right now, I put on some makeup.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. And social media has a big part in it today,
Mm-hmm,
too,
mm-hmm.
with all these big booty lifts, or what's it called? Brazilian booty lifts and breast implants, and then guys not feeling comfortable in their body because they don't feel manly enough. They're getting pec implants and ab implants. It's just crazy. It
Yeah.
is real crazy to me that people feel they have to do extreme things to themselves to feel okay. It's okay not to be okay.
And that's why originally I said a lot of people walking around with mental illnesses with this. When you're not comfortable with the way you look and you go through extremes and paying money to do all that, it, you got some deep rooted issues that probably will come out in a relationship. You may think it's fine on the outside, but sooner or later, as we always say, that mask does peel off. It does peel off. In the summertime, it gets hot and it starts coming off, and then in the wintertime, it starts cracking, whatever. So um, it's gonna come off, and I can, like I did in a promo, I could say, and that that was just my birthmark, but that was something that bothered me growing up, because I had a big spot on my head. Well, when I was growing up, I had hair. I mean, I had afro, but my hairline always grew uneven, so I would get teased and ridiculed about that. Then if I once I started getting my hair cut lower, people would see it, and I still get looks now, to this day. And you will have people that have people just rude. Oh, excuse me, I want to ask you, what is that on your head? And I'm like, birthmark. Oh wow, I've never seen a birthmark that big. I thought it was, things of that I had a metal plate in my head, or all types of stuff. And I used to be real self conscious about that growing up, and it used to bother me often, especially the looks that I would get, and I would say, "Man, why the hell I had to get this? Why me? Why me?" And it used to really bother me. And now it's to the point I get looks, but I'm the type to look you up and down myself. So if you looking at me strange, I'm gonna look your ass up and down and like, don't even go there. This is a birthmark, but the shit I see on the outside of you, you don't want to go there. So that kind of may alleviate stuff. And I know so subconsciously sometimes I don't pay attention. My mother always say, "Oh, you quick to look somebody up and down." Know why? Because I always got looks myself. So now, before you even come at me, I'm gonna check you out, and I'm gonna look for a weakness in you if that's where you trying to take it. But now I look at it as a strength. It's unique. Uh, uh, it's uniqueness. And at one point, when I went to the dermatologist, he had said, "Well, if you ever want to, we can we could do perform something that you could get rid of it." And I'm like, and I had to process that. I'm like, hell no, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't have this. Like, how the hell I have all my life I have this birthmark, then all of a sudden you do whatever and it goes away. I wouldn't be who I am. So that's my message to people who feel like, oh, my breast isn't big enough, or all my life I had small breasts, and people know me to not for them not to be too big. Then all of a sudden I'm freaking walking around like Dolly Parton, whatever. I don't know why I said her, but that's just what we used to associate with back in the days. And
Or May West, yeah.
yeah, so people, you got to be comfortable with who you are, and whatever defects or whatever flaws that you have, they're yours. You gotta learn to cope with it and deal with it. But the stuff that's going on now, and we just getting started. I told you in 2024 I ain't taking no shorts. We just get started. I'm telling my story, but it's a lot more to this. Um, got the good doctor coming in. Sandra, it didn't stop you from looking good. Uh, I hope no, it didn't. I tried to always look my best no matter what. But it did definitely bother me growing up. What's going on, Doc?
Not much. Herbie said, "I'm my block M on 6'5". Wolverines go blue, national champs. What's going on,
Yes,
everybody?
sir.
Not
Nada,
much,
man.
whatever.
You know?
Congrats to that victory for Michigan.
All right, all right. Yeah, people been congratulating me all week, and I was like, "Yo, I didn't take a snap. I didn't run the ball. I didn't tackle anybody, but I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I got my diploma, but I can't take any credit for the win."
Yeah. It's kind of I'm at the bittersweet phase right now because Dallas got their ass handed to them. So I'm celebrating on one end, and I'm just like Heather, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, I thought I'd come up for a minute. This is a very, very riveting topic. I think it's something that impacts everybody. So Herb laughed when I put the Jermaine reference there in the chat. That's a nod to BGS, because at the beginning of all the streams he has this drop that he plays of this woman who's crying, and I can't make out what she's saying in the beginning, but
I
it
won't
ends
repeat
with,
it because it could be triggering.
okay, well, it ends with, it's all Jermaine's fault. It's all Jermaine's fault. So Jermaine is the avatar for the black man, the dusty black man he's done something wrong and it's always his fault. So that's why I put that in there, because Herb said this woman he was talking about, it was always everyone else's fault. So there's some truth to that. All the Jermaines, stand up.
I'm telling you, man, she's a head case, boy. I mean, and I had to ask a few people, have you ever encountered anyone like this? Because I was just at a complete loss for how to deal with her. Really, I was.
Yeah.
I never.
Well, Herb, a couple of things stood out to me when you were saying that, and there's something my former stepfather, because he's my former stepfather now, but one of the things he used to tell me was, he says, and I was in high school at the time, so I didn't know anything about girls at that point, and I was really insecure myself. But he said, in many instances, they're more insecure than you are. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, in a lot of instances, the girls, the females, the women, they're more insecure than you are. I didn't get it at the time, but the older I got, I started to see it. And I guess that is a lot of pressure for your body, to want your body to look a certain way, to keep the curve, everything, all the curves where they're supposed to be. Pressure not to get fat, pressure not to show wrinkles, pressure not to have your grays show. I think that's something that's kind of being celebrated a little bit more now. You see ladies with the gray braids and the gray extensions. But when you think about it, yeah, there is a lot of pressure on women to look a certain way and maintain what they have, and to stay looking as youthful as they can for as long as they can. And I'll add something here to what you guys said. Sometimes the greatest antagonist comes from inside the family. Sometimes it's their mom. Sometimes it's their mom telling them, they're in the black community, you're too dark, your nose is too big. Sometimes it's the aunties. I was seeing someone a couple of years ago. I'll just keep it general and I'll keep it brief. But she was the quote unquote dark one in the family. So the older ladies in the family can be really mean. And the older ladies in the family will tell you gain weight. You're bigger than you used to be.
Yeah, they had no filter.
You might be telling your girl, hey, I like you the way you are. You're pretty. But when your mom or auntie says, you don't put on a couple pounds, that hits different. So, and I think looks wise, I think both genders, you want to stay looking as good as you can for as long as you can. But I think it hits a little bit different for the women, because that's kind of the first thing they're judged on, right? It's not their academics, it's not their job title, it's not their degree level, even though today that's something that's presented first. But at the end of the day, it's the biology.
And that's true. But also, I want to make reference to what Anita said as far as guys. You got a lot of guys walking around here, like she said, getting these. I don't know how she phrased it. She said peck implants and things like that, and some guys taking steroids or obsessed with being in the gym. I think some of them dudes look absolutely foolish, that they so, as we said, cock diesel, that they don't even look comfortable moving around. But I guess back in the days, that was the look. But now I look at it as they look foolish, and you do all that. I don't know why they do all that, because when I think about, you walking around and you got these pecs and big muscles, but half of the time those dudes can't fight. They can't fight. They're just big for no reason, strong for no reason. And the reason, and you see it in like professional boxing, and you have like the commentator say, "Oh, he's too big. He's too big. He put on too much muscle mass." Because they have a hard time throwing punches when their arm's too big. Then you have somebody that's kind of light, elusive, and they end up whooping their ass every time, and even in street fights. So you always wonder when you see these dudes, it's intimidating, but then as you get older, you're like, his ass, he's just big for no reason. He's not really a threat at all. He's just big. Now you don't want none of them to grab you or anything like that, but you just wonder why that look. But then again, back in the days, women, that was the look they was looking for. He got a 6-pack. He fine. You see how little muscles are? He ain't got no neck. He ain't got no neck. Again, just big for no reason.
Can you guys see this? No, you probably can't.
Yeah, I can see it.
Like, look at those thighs. To me, that is disgusting. That looks like turkey legs.
Yeah, he looks stupid.
Yeah, but that's what he's a professional bodybuilder. So there's a difference, and I want people to understand this. There's a difference between a man looking like that when that's his life's work.
That's his lifestyle, and it's disgusting.
No. That's not his lifestyle.
I know what you're saying. I know.
But yeah, those people as being competition or something. I'm talking, we talking about the regular dude, dude that walks around, work a regular job, ain't in competition, and just big and strong for no reason.
But some guys are obsessed with it.
Yes, but understand the difference between.
I don't know if you can see all those veins.
The striations, yes.
I've known guys
bodybuilder.
Like
yeah, he's shredded.
Gross.
Right.
Anita.
Yeah, and some guys are obsessed with that lifestyle, which can be classified as body dysmorphic.
Well, Anita,
hating that though.
What's it? Think about it. What's it like to live in a place like Miami? Or what's another tropical?
LA. Yeah,
I mean, in those areas, cosmetics are everything. How your body looks. I mean, you're talking about the top.
I can't.
Can't hear me? Can y'all hear me?
We hear you. Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about everything. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
okay.
It just keeps freezing up. I hear what you're saying. I mean, even here in Niagara Falls, I've known guys to be like that. I'm like, dude, why are you doing that to your body? Some guys take steroids and work out in the gym, and steroids affects things. It's true. It's gross.
But keep in mind,
in
there's
my
also
opinion,
guys that
it's not cute. Their mind gets altered and obsessed with their lifestyle.
They may be compensating though, and that's part of what this whole thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at it like this.
I mean, even if they weren't compensating to begin with, after they take steroids.
Well, no, when I say compensating, I'm not necessarily talking about trying to mask a deficiency so much as they're trying to overcome a deficiency. Just like David talked about, you have some guys who were thinner as young boys, and now that they have the ability to put on muscle, they've gone beyond what's prudent. So now they are here walking around like this, but they can't do anything. It's because they've never got any help, if you will, for being teased. It's you talking about pec implants. Most guys can't afford to go get that kind of surgery, but they can afford a gym membership. They can afford to spend an hour and a half a day lifting weights. As a guy, you can't really go get a surgically enhanced behind, but you can spend an hour and a half lifting weights, squatting. You can lift weights, develop the muscles. That's one of the benefits of being a guy is you have an abundance of testosterone, and if used right, you can develop that. So it overcomes what you've been teased about. So now, when you walk out there, you might have the confidence, but it's a false bravado, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. How guys master insecurities. Women might go out and get implants and say, "Okay, you know what? Now I look just as good as every other female." Dr. Dunbar just talked about Miami. Cosmetic surgery is a multi-billion-dollar business for a particular reason. Some people can't develop confidence, so they go out and they buy it. And when you buy it and you stand next to somebody who has it naturally, that person who's natural, they're going to be able to pick you apart a mile away. They go, "Oh yeah, yeah, no, they're phony. You're not on my level." And all of a sudden now they're back to square one. They're back to that point where they were a teenage kid with the A cup, and everybody else is walking around with C's, and all of a sudden you got to figure out how to overcome it again. You can't go out and spend any more money because your confidence has just been obliterated. So what do? Who do you talk to?
And that reminds me of the heavy set guy that still has the swag, got confidence, got a good sense of humor, and like you said, he breaks you down. He breaks you down, and he's well liked, but he's comfortable in his skin. Doesn't care. He got a big ass pot belly, or whatever the case is, but he's still dressed nice. He still carry himself. He might be bigger, but he's neat about it, and he's charismatic and still carries himself well. He'll eat somebody up who goes around and like doesn't feel confident and like, okay, I'm gonna work out at the gym, get big, and pop a few little supplements here and there. Yeah, you,
David, you just described Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah,
hey,
him.
yeah,
And I
he
can't
was
remember the other comedian's name. What is his name?
Was it Bruce Bruce?
Oh, no, the brother who used to
Bruce,
wear the hat.
Bruce.
He died not too long ago. Ah, I'll look it up. But go ahead, David.
Oh no, that was pretty much it. Like, I mean, some guys and then you wonder why these cock diesel dudes like, damn, how is he pulling her? Does she have a good time
But you
with
know
him?
what? I want to
He's
go back to
himself.
what I want to go back to Herb's story about his friend. And I just want to say that a lot of people today are in counseling. You'd be surprised how many people are actually in counseling today and seeing somebody. But yeah, you never know until you get close to somebody and you talk to them and you hear about what they're dealing with. You never really know what they're dealing with. So someone might look like they've got it going on. She might look like an 8 or a 9, or he might look like a master of the universe. Deep down, could be very, very insecure about something or some things. And oftentimes that's why they have such unusual behavior.
Mhm. And a lot of people, by the way, the guy's name is Patrice O'Neill. By the
Truth on him.
way, a lot of people will telegraph their insecurities if you know what to look for. And that's what, you have gosh, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. You have pimps that will target women for certain things based off of the vibes that they give. And they will have these females in such a situation. And not that he's looking to prostitute them, but he's just looking to hone his game, if you will. The same way that women pick out weak men to give them money to fawn over them, it's the same thing, and we tend to call them narcissists. But when in actuality, they're not. They're just opportunists. You know, they see somebody who they can victimize, and understand what I mean when I say victimize. When I say victimize, I don't necessarily mean that they're trying to hurt them, but they want something and they want to give nothing. We talk about gold diggers. What do you think gold diggers do? What do you think guys who are so attractive that they're dealing with a female who isn't as attractive and she's giving him everything that he wants? Same thing happens with women. And what people don't understand is how this plays out. A lot of that has its genesis in that. So, you people always wonder, why do guys care about the relationship a potential girlfriend has with her father? Because he will know if she's balanced. He will know if she's mentally there. That way, she can't be taken advantage of. Because the last thing any guy wants in a long-term mate is for a female that can be talked to and taken advantage of by anybody. Because he can't feel secure in her being alone at any point in time, because now he feels like he has to watch over her like she's a kid. And contrary to popular belief, no man really wants to watch over his girl like that. I'm going to tell you now, I don't care what man says that. He doesn't want to spend his time doing that. That's a bunch of bullshit. Any guy tells you that. I'm here to tell you now. Does he want to protect her? Yes. But there's a difference between protecting your girlfriend and then having to watch over her like she's a child.
Yeah, and with the hope of, like you said, nobody wants to do that, but with the hope that that the female is strong and she would put somebody in their place.
Mhm.
And if it's guys that's getting trying to get at her because she has nice developed nice body, curves and everything, uh, and it's legit, not um, the falsehood that we see now, but it's legit. He would hope that she has some substance to put somebody in their place, listen, she ain't the one, because
Mhm.
again, most guys don't have confidence to approach a woman that they consider a dime. They're not built like that. So the ones that do, they may smell blood and say she weak. So I'm
Yep.
gonna say this. I'm gonna say that. Shit, I just work at 7-Eleven flipping the hot dogs and whatever, putting pizzas in, but I can get her because
Yeah.
she weak. I didn't
Yeah.
study her.
And growing up on the block, you see this. The first thing, the first thing a lot of guys will ask is, "That dude is ugly, and he got that fine ass chick. How?" And that's how he knows what makes her tick. He knows how to get in there, and once he do, he's got a firm enough grip that she's not going anywhere. And this gets into a whole nother topic that we'll probably discuss some other time. This is why a lot of women who seem to have it together have a difficult time leaving some guys. And yes, it's mental, but it's not abusive. The difference is this: he's telling her, if you think you can do better, go. I'm not going to stop you. Now she's in her own head talking about, okay, I don't think I can find anyone better, but I don't want to be alone. So now what does she do? Because she doesn't have the confidence, even though she physically is all there, she doesn't have the mental confidence and the mental fortitude to carry on by herself. This is why a lot of men, and they're not going to tell you this is why a lot of men, when they see women posted on social media, I don't need no man, I can do this, I can do that, they looking right through it and say, okay, you know what? That's a false bravado. Because a woman that doesn't need a man, she's not going to tell you.
Exactly.
She's going to go ahead and do what she does. And if a man that she happens to like comes her way, she's going to let her know that she's available. And the one that isn't up to snuff, she's gonna tell you, look, partner, just like David said, look, you ain't got the chops to take to catch this. Go and play. And this is the difference between that man who knows how to get that woman, keep her. He ain't got to put his hands on her. He ain't got to do nothing. He's the best thing that she's ever had. And she's gonna struggle, and it's like that with some guys. What we say about guys is, she got you open. Whatever she did, she got you open. Now, this guy's stuck because he's always been the outcast of the group. He's never been the one to be able to get and keep a female consistently. Now he got this hot chick, and she's telling him, "Hey, look, you don't have to stay here. Go down the road, find something better." But he don't want to for whatever reason. And now the shoe's on the other foot. It's the female running the game, and the guy's got to decide: do I want to deal? Do I want to be miserable for a piece of her, or do I want to go out here and have nothing? And we see this all the time play out. We're just not aware of it because we're not in tune to it. But being that I work in a hotel and I've worked in a casino, I can't tell you how often I've seen it.
Well, Herb, so you're talking about the whole poker face thing. Who's willing to walk away? Who's like, go ahead, go ahead. I don't need you. That's a mental thing.
Yeah.
And for the person who's being told that, you kind of feel like, wait a minute, you just gonna tell me to go? Or what, you don't want me no more? You don't need me? So that's a big poker card.
Yeah. And the funny thing is it's if that individual had abandonment issues in the younger years, it's even worse.
And that's what one of the important things about that. We never, you never know what somebody was teased about or whatever the case is. Some people, you know grills, their dental work ain't the greatest growing up, and a lot of times people get a lot of ridicule about that. And so you just never know, like certain things that is said. Even back in the days when somebody was young and they wore glasses, you four eyes and all this stupid stuff that people would say, whatever that was hurtful, that would cause people to not really want to wear their glasses. But then, in this generation, kids want to have on glasses. Not well in Baltimore, they just different because they like, oh, Mr. Glover, is those glasses have medicine in them? What medicine? Oh, like prescription glasses. But they say medicine. Like, is those medicine glasses? uh, and I'm like, oh, are those? Well, no, I just got these on, whatever, because I think I look nice in them. But when it's time to really wear them, I'm like, you don't understand. You probably not going to even want to wear them, but um, it's just little, different little quirks and stuff like that people got teased and ridiculed about growing up that
Hey,
probably shouldn't have had to.
do girls rib on each other the way guys do? Because I remember in high school at our lunch table, that's all we would do. We would just sit. I mean, for me, they make fun of some of the guys. Well, one of the guys in particular make fun of my lips. I remember one time they called me Worf from Star Trek. And one guy, he was too black. One guy was too fat. One guy was little. One guy had a big head and a skinny body, and he looked like the guy from Mortal Kombat, Dhalsim. But guys, I don't know. At least, yeah, that's like a rite of passage for us in a way. I don't know if girls do that.
I think they do. I think it's more lines of like the Mean Girls, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
they'll do it,
that's what I was
and
Mean
saying.
Girls, okay.
and it's deeply rooted. Where guys, you kind of get immune to it, and you just laugh. Like, I know where they come. I know what y'all about to say. You already know what your friends go say when you even walk out the house. Like, yeah, you gonna say something about this or say something about that, but you already got something in your in your toolbox that you gonna come with. But girls, they say it, and hits deep and it kind of severs their relationships because you might have two or three taking sides. And I'm like, and I always tell, the young adolescents, like, yeah, our horrible friends. Y'all are horrible friends, whatever. And then they say stuff like, well, we just taking a break. I told her we need to take a break. And I said, I wish somebody would tell me, oh, we taking a break in our friendship. What? It's over with. Peace. I'm not about to deal with that. I said, so you what? It's restrictions, and this is how they operate, and they do. I mean, guys is petty, but I think girls and women do a lot of petty stuff too. That they'll go out with
Yeah.
a couple of them and then didn't invite the one or whatever the case is, but she wanted to be there, and it started off at a young age when they having sleepovers and different stuff like that. They Yeah, they. I think guys, we as youngsters, we kind of occupied our time. It might have been some guys that slept over each other house, but long as you had the latest, the video games or the handheld games, whatever, you was good. Okay, y'all spent the night. Shit, okay, I was. That's good. I ain't get no invite. You don't take it personal. Girls take it personal when they don't get
Mm.
that invite.
Yeah.
I have an acquaintance. I'll call her an acquaintance. Very beautiful woman. Very, very beautiful woman. And it seems like oftentimes when we talk, when we message, she starts talking about how big her forehead is. And for me, it's like your forehead's not big. I don't think your forehead is big. I don't think your nose is big. But the way she sees herself, she sees those. She looks at herself in the mirror every day, and she sees those as flaws. She sees those as
Mhm.
things that, I guess, because she thinks her forehead is big, she thinks other people think that her forehead is big. I don't think her forehead is big, but I think it's just oftentimes the way we see ourselves is different than the way other people see us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
That
this was a part of it when I had mentioned earlier that sometimes other people don't really see it or they don't really pay attention, but you're so focused and obsessed with it. Like I got a big forehead, or my lips too big, or whatever the case is, or my lips too small, and other people really don't pay attention. They just you're you. They used to seeing who you are, and they don't put focus on it unless somebody brings it to their attention. And they may say, "I never even noticed that. I never even paid that any attention."
Yeah, and you wouldn't think it if you saw this person, you wouldn't think that was an issue. But it's just amazing how how she sees herself.
the voices in our head, they tend to, no matter what um positive affirmations we might get from the environment, they tend to drown out a lot of things, and that's unfortunate because, like I said earlier, if it's not addressed, if you're taking childhood problems into your adolescence and then adolescence into your adulthood, it doesn't take very much to undo any amount of confidence that you may have built up. And when that happens, you know, a lot of people don't come back from it. When we haven't talked about self deletion, in regards to body dysmorphia, but that's a step that a lot of people get to. The world is cruel. Nobody likes me. I, the funny thing about that is this: all of us, every human, every born, we are all lopsided. Our left side tends to be, if you're right handed, if you're left-handed person, your left hand, you'll be stronger in your left hand. You when you're right. This is why they always tell guys to work out with free weights because it's helps to clear up that imbalance. But naturally, your left side of your chest is going to be bigger than your right side because that's where your heart is. But for a lot of women, that gives them an asymmetrical cup size. And you know what they can do to overcome that? Absolutely nothing. So just imagine looking in the mirror day after day, especially when it starts to develop week after week, month after month, and they already are feeling like they're not going to be the uh, the the uh, the senior prom queen, and then you throw everything else in there with that. If they can't get a grasp on that quickly and get adjusted, they are always going to have some problem. This is why a lot of women run to talk about implants. And like you said, Dr. Dunbar, no matter what you tell a female, her own voice matters more than anything else. And that's the unfortunate part of of this type of this type of disease, if you will. Sometimes there really is no cure. No matter what, because the issue is here. It's not here. It's not out there. It's in here. And as sports psychologists will tell you. Matter of fact, for Yankee fans, I'm gonna bring this up. Chuck Knobloch, who by all intents and purposes was an excellent second baseman. He had gotten to a point, I think it's Chuck Knobloch, where he couldn't make the throw to first base
I remember that shit.
without airmailing it. And this was his job. This is what he got paid hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars to do every day. He just couldn't do it anymore. So all this stuff hits people in different ways. And when it hits as an adult and you're on on a on a big platform, you can't hide. So what do? This is why you have a lot of people in Hollywood who mask a lot of deficiencies with drugs. That's one of the reasons why drug abuse runs so rampant in Hollywood, because of the pressure. The pressure to be perfect. This is why they're always under the knife. The pressure to do this, the pressure to look like this. Life can be a pressure cooker, and if you don't know how to handle it, or if you don't have a release, it can be ugly.
Well, Herb, I think Anita might have mentioned this, or one of you guys did, but social media, I think, particularly Instagram, I think that's reinforcing a lot of. Yeah, Instagram is a mess. I mean, all day, every day, it's like, let me get this angle. Let me take this. No, let me put this filter on, and let me do this. Instagram is a mess, man. It's one big thirst trap.
And that's why Willie always talk about what's his saying?
Headshots can be deceiving.
Be deceiving, whatever. These filters and certain things that people use just ain't right. And you're struggling too, because with all these different apps, you'll see people there. They'll post flawless pictures. Like, damn, she looked good. Then you see them in person, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, like
you know what?
What happened? What happened? So for those people, you got a mental illness too, because but the only thing is you're using a computerized stuff to enhance your looks and post pictures to get attention. Just be who you are, like I'm saying, because as Daryl Mack said, tinted windows don't be nothing. They know who's inside. Like sooner or later, people know they gonna see. They gonna see you.
Yeah, I will say, and I got to drop, but yeah, there was someone I knew, I'll just say on the book. And, well, in person, she looked different. I'll just say that. Well, I'll tell you what, hey, since you mentioned them, David, two things before I drop off. Number one, no boxed wine. No meals on paper plates. Oh, I gotta go.
Where you at tonight? All right, thanks for coming, Doc. Appreciate you.
All right, talk to y'all later.
All right. But that's real. It's real. So again, people know how to do it. Like, oh, I just want to post this picture. I'm gonna get this app, and they make themselves look nice, skin flawless, and everything. But then when you see them, and you say, Shit, it was a post I posted a couple years ago, and I was like, Tiffany, is that you? Like, shit, is this ain't the person that I saw on social media. It is what it is for me, whatever. A lot of times people say, oh, you make yourself look older because you got the gray beard. 53 years old. It is what it is. Accept me
Yeah.
for what it is. You can't beat father time. But for the ones that decide that they want to dye their beard every other day, you got a mental illness. You're obsessed with that stuff. Like, oh, I got to make sure I don't have no grays coming out. I got to dye it. Too much work. Too much work.
Yeah.
And you look like Laurel and Hardy. You don't look like fake ass people, whatever. Just be real. It's great. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. As long as you maintain it, keep it right. Embrace it. Embrace that you still living. It And for some reason, if you feel that you got to do all that, you lacking confidence in an area because people know who you are. They watched you grow through the development over the years, and some people, shit, I could have this, then I could cut it all off, and I probably look 5, 6, 7 years younger. But
Mhm.
that's not what I'm trying to. I like having my beard, whatever. Sometimes I just go to the goatee, whatever. But that's what I just like to do. So, but I damn sure ain't gonna be in Walmart or CVS trying to buy no freaking dye and making sure one day I got a gray beard, then the next day my shit jet black. I mean, you fake.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
It's a tough world, man. It's a you know like Dr. Dunbar said, especially with the filters and apps and females. And I don't know if they necessarily have it any worse than guys. I will say this because they're under the gun more so than men are. Because as a man, you don't need to be as physically attractive because you can overcome that with money. For women, I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if a woman can have enough money to impact her physical attractiveness to the point where if a guy just thinks she's not attractive, he's gonna say, "Oh, I can overlook that." He's just say, no, just
Melvin can
no."
overlook that. Jermaine can. Best believe that. Best believe that she loaded with money and she weigh like 400 pounds. And he like, shit, that's my baby, and he gonna be good. He's gonna be good.
Good old Melvin. I
That's
mean, but
real.
and the thing about it is, are there enough Melvins to go around?
Well, there are Melvins, but some of them are still hitting. They haven't came out the closet yet. It's a lot of Melvins. They haven't came out the closet yet.
And then the flip side of that is this. Let's say the female that is less than physically attractive happens to snag her a man. Now the real fun begins because what if he only wants to come around when the sun is down? He doesn't want to be around her in public. So she's got to deal with this element too. I can't hear you, Anita, if you're saying something. Check your mute. Oh, so now what does she do when her feelings of inadequacy are being reinforced by the person she wants to be with? And see, that's when you get into the reinforcing of the way she's always felt. She's never felt that she's been attractive enough. She's never, got to date a decent looking guy because she's not attractive enough. And then the one time she finds a guy she really likes, they really hit it off, he doesn't want to be seen with her in public. What does she do?
Yeah, you know, that type of stuff start off at a young age. Too. You may know someone like, it's a nice girl. She treat me well. She's a nice girl. But it's other girls that's prettier that may like you. And you tend to lean toward those ones that look better, probably because of your peer group.
Hmm.
But you know that the one, like, man, she really it. I like the way I feel around it, but I like, you like for it to be sort of private. Which I have is private. You have a good time together, but you don't want to necessarily showcase her around from your peers because you're really not confident in yourself, in your judgments, and that's why you're worried about what your friends would say.
Hmm.
Because if you were, you would say, "I don't give a damn what y'all say," or whatever the case is. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I like the way I feel around her. I like the way she treats me. I treat her the same way. We good. Most people don't deal on that level.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, okay.
So if you got something you want to catch up on, we've been dropping a lot.
Is it my internet
I would assume
or is it just StreamYard?
everything been working fine for me.
Mm.
So these are real, situations that people have to face. And then, we didn't have shows on this before. Are you with the right person? Are you with the person that you want to be with? And a lot of times people are not. And they know that somewhere down the road it was somebody that treated them much more, but you were chasing that silver bullet or that trophy, and y'all just go at it all the time. And she thinks because her beauty that she could say anything to you. Whereas the other one may say, you know what, we don't disrespect each other. We got a nice little bond. We're just gonna leave it at that. But that one with all the looks, whether it's cosmetics or whatever the case is, but probably the ones with cosmetics, they wouldn't carry themselves like that because they're the ones who already been flawed and they got low self esteem probably to begin with. So it wouldn't be them. It probably would be those ones that's with the natural beauty that may mistreat you because they're used to attention and they think they can have the world.
Yeah. Uh, you know, it's 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 difficult for a lot of people to deal with individuals, like you said, who don't reinforce the way that they feel. So, it's like I spoke about earlier. They lay down that card. They say, "Hey, nobody's forcing you to be here. So if you want to stay, stay, and if you don't. I'm fine either way." And because everybody likes to have some kind of leverage in a relationship, nobody wants to feel like they're taken for granted. And that's almost what that does is just to say, "Hey, look, my life is going to be fine with or without you. You're like a fort. I can always go get another fort. You fall on the floor, I take you, put you in the sink, and I go get another one, and I continue." People want to feel like they're valued, even if the value isn't as great as that individual is thinking. They could say they want to say, "Hey, at least I mean something to this individual." Like I just wasn't a placeholder until they got tired of me and then they moved on. That in and of itself is more destructive probably than anything, because at the end of the day, this to say, I didn't mean anything to this individual. you know I was with this individual for this amount of time. We did this together. We did this together, and it was just like you just take me and just tear me up like a piece of paper, and just put me in the trash and keep going. That is highly destructive. And I remember situations I've been in, where a relationship is ended and I was contacted by the individual. They saw me and they said, "You look like you were having fun." I said, "Yes, I was." And they and they seemed startled. Like my life and my enjoyment of it doesn't stop because what we had did. And I think a lot of people that aren't well adjusted, they have a difficult time struggling with that because they've never fully processed or understand how to deal with the end of something. For me, fortunately, the way I grew up, um, I've had to deal with a lot of things that have ended, in ways that I didn't want to. But the one thing it taught me was how to pick up the pieces, how to put together what's left, and how to move on. That's why a lot of people, when I behave in the manner that I do, they think I don't give a damn. I'm just like, no, quite the contrary. I care a lot. I just don't care enough to lose myself in whatever it was. Because at the end of the day, I still have to do me. It's what I said when we went to my sister's memorial service. I said, "Hey, the business of life continues." And it's a really, really um I suppose I don't want to say draconian, but it's a rather realistic look at the world. No matter what happens today, good, bad, or indifferent, tomorrow morning, we're in winter hours, the sun's gonna rise. We're gonna hear some birds, people going to work, people paying bills, people dropping their kids
The
off
lucky
at school.
ate them all.
Say it again. Anita, I didn't hear you.
I was just making a joke. I said, unless
Oh,
Lucky ate all the birds, he's trying to climb the wall
well,
behind
no,
you.
he no. Lucky's already up there. He's sitting up on top of this couch. I can see him. But yeah, life goes on. And for as much as something might hurt, for as much as something might might be so disruptive that it seems like it's not, it is. And the thing about it is being able to find time to process, deal with, and heal with that trauma and move on. Because it's this is what I tell people. Um, no matter what happens to me, I'm gonna be okay. Because life doesn't give me any other choice. If I'm not okay, who's coming to save me?
Lucky.
Well,
Lucky just
one
jumped down and ran out.
one of
He
the
ain't trying to
things that
save me.
one of the things I think is about establishing good boundaries
Mhm.
and the ability to say to yourself, "Listen, it didn't work out. I'm gonna go my way. You go your way." And that be that. But a lot of times, I don't know. I mean, it's not too often. We've talked about this before that when something comes to an end, that both people have a mutual understanding. Usually, it's one or the other who don't want it to end, and then there's some person who wants it to end. in all cases, how many times do people say, "Oh, well, I wish you well with your endeavors, and you really mean it"? 'Cause I don't know if I ever gave anybody wished them well or gave them. I just went about my business and always stayed occupied and established good boundaries and did what I need to do. I'm not gonna wish you because I don't after we stop talking, I may care. Obviously, I will still care, but on the outside, I'm gonna show you that I don't really give a fuck. I'm gonna still do what I gotta do to maintain my mental health, and I think that plays a big part of it too. So when people feel like, oh, we're best of friends, and we're better friends than we are lovers, and if you was together for years, I don't know if I buy into all that.
I don't want to see him with nobody else but me. I'm not gonna be like, I'm happy, you're happy. Sorry, not me.
Now the big bad wolf may have a different story to tell. He may
Uh-huh,
say,
I'm sure he does.
well,
Not me. I see you out with another girl and be like, whatever. I'll probably leave
eh,
that establishment because I am not wishing you well with nobody else. Unless I did
and
the breaking up. No, not even if I did the breaking up, I wouldn't wish you well with nobody else. Because I think I'm the best of the best of the best.
essentially you're supposed to feel that way. So for people who put too much stock into when they break up and feel like, okay, I still need to be there. We still communicate. That's just dragging matters on and making things worse. Probably for that person and also for the new person that you affiliated with. So
I'll be friends
yeah.
with him unless he finds a new person. Then I'll be like, yeah, we can't be friends. I just can't do it.
See, and I always said
I'm
I ain't in a.
somewhat, I don't know. What do you call it? Dominant, I guess.
I always said I'm not in the line of the business to be demoted. I'm demoted and think that we gonna just carry on like we were before. We don't got too much to say after that. If I see you, it's gonna be respect. But demotions, personally, professionally, don't sit in well with me. So if I'm at the job and you feel you got to demote me and you think I'm gonna come up in that same, so I'm just too competitive for that to happen. Then I know, hey, I got to make some other changes because I'm not gonna be at this level one day and then be shrinking down to this level. It just don't work like that for me. Some other people, they may say, oh, I'd rather just have something than nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah, nah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. So I've been saying for years, I don't do the demotions or whatever. We don't got shit to talk about like that. If I see you, we'll be civil, cordial, but don't expect that every like we gonna be best buddies and all of that stuff. I'm not about to listen to your stories about you and Melvin.
If I saw my ex somewhere, I would just leave. I'd be like, I can't even. I can't even.
I'm
Nope.
good.
Can't even be in the same room with you right now, dude.
And the reason why
Depending on which ex it is, I guess.
and the reason why some people could do it because they don't have shit else to do. So once that's in, and their world is just shattered, so they still want a peace. But when people have tons of other things on their mind and stuff to do, they're busy. So and sometimes people almost want like, well, I said this to him. I can't believe he hasn't reached out. He ain't text me. He ain't call or nothing. He must have already had somebody else. As Kevin Durant said, you know who I am. You know who I am. I'm not about to sit there and be in a fetal position. You know I'm gonna
Yeah.
bounce back. Simple as that. Know your personnel. I'm always gonna say that.
Yes, sir.
Did you talk about cutting yet? Self harm?
Huh?
Did you guys talk about cutting self
What?
harm
Oh, with this?
with body dysmorphia? Because it can lead
Yeah,
to that.
Well,
yeah,
that's
that's
what we were
probably
talking about earlier. That's what I was alluding to earlier when I was talking about the self deletion.
My internet's been cutting out, so
No, we didn't mention that specifically, but all of that falls into the realm of what an individual does when they can't handle certain aspects of reality. So that's just one of many things.
yeah, and that may manifest when you're younger. Probably when somebody's older, that's when it becomes the alcohol, drug
Right.
abuse,
Yep.
and stuff like
Yep.
that. That they're gonna harm themselves or shit, not going to work. Uh, just being irresponsible, just not doing the things that they normally had did because they're in a bad spot. But people need to understand you can't. All too often we're comparing, especially like we said with social media. You're looking and you're seeing all of this stuff. Barely seldom people show you the bad aspects of what they're going through. Nobody posts something and say, "Oh, damn, I got this eviction notice or my house about to get foreclosed on." Why not? Y'all tell everything else. Why not? Maybe you might get some help from someone. Everybody has to make it seem like they're in a good place. Now you have people that rant and rave and stuff like that, but usually, like far as the physical, the images that they show is usually something that's positive or whatever the case is. Not too many people they'll show when they got a brand new car or keys to a house, but they're not showing when they up under the hood of a car and like this shit on this last leg or whatever the case is, or malfunctions in the house or whatever was going on. So you got to take that for what it's worth. But a lot of times that plays a major role on how people, because again, I talked about this before years ago. One of my teachers, when I was going through my admin leadership thing, he said the day of wordy PowerPoints is over. He said it's about images. That there's more power to it. That's why people you buy stuff based on what you see on images,
Mm-hmm.
commercials, and even shit. They be getting me like it ain't nothing. This damn TikTok shop shit be coming up in there. You see it and you be like, damn, okay, that look nice. Let me order this. Uh, but those images is powerful. So when people post powerful images, that's what people get caught up in. They get caught up in it. And then when you talk about the whole body euphoria, euphoric, they look at that stuff and then it makes them want to be something that they're not, and it kind of leads to other issues.
I know two girls around 17 years old, 17, 18, whatever, and they are into self harm. And one, I guess both have to do with a certain kind of depression, like what's going on at home or how they feel about themselves. But they said it basically takes their mind off of their mental pain when they cause physical pain to themselves. And I thought that was really interesting. And no matter like how much you reach out to somebody, like they have to want to open up and listen. And I felt really bad for the two girls, but then I was like, yeah, there's nothing much I can do but talk to. But and then there's always like, well, you're oh, you don't know what it's like. Yeah, I do know what it's like, honey. I might not look like I'm pushing 50, but I'm pushing 50. And I've been there. Mhm.
And that's why the
High
art
school is harsh, man.
that's why the art
I
of
was always
storytelling is powerful. When you have kids and you can tell them stories about when you were a child or certain situations. And I know I always have a story to tell, and I think that's what keeps them coming because they know. And they're like, "Oh, Mr. Glover, what you jibber jabbing about? What you got to say?" But I can guarantee you this: a couple weeks later, they won't forget nothing I said. They'll come back and they'll remember everything that I said because that helps them get the connection, and they'll say, "Damn, things change, but they really haven't changed. We just in a different world, different kids have more access and more exposure to stuff, but these issues don't go away. They've been here forever. They've been here
And
since the
social
biblical
media
days.
nowadays is so cruel. They trick your mind.
What does?
Social media. Social media, the media in general, like they kind of enforce the perfect body image. And then girls think they have to have even women my age feel like they have to have the perfect or better body to get a good man or a good looking man, whatever you want to say. But it's like there's certain dimensions of the face that people are more and less attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like that. And people like celebrities when they get the boobs and the wait, who was it? Dolly Parton that got her ribs removed? No, Cher that got her ribs removed so she could have like a corset looking
Oh,
like top
yeah.
and some hips, even though she don't have any hips. Like me, I was always thick and curvy in high school, and I felt like I was fat. And now I just realized it's my Armenian German genes that I was fitting in my jeans. So the world is cruel. And sometimes it brainwashes guys to think they should be attracted to a certain type of physical woman. And then it tricks women to feel like they should be a different, in a different body.
Well,
Same
that's
thing with
that's
that swimmer. As a matter of fact, we're talking about body dysmorphia. That swimmer, Leah Thomas, that is supposedly trans female, that won the race, that swimmer's race against the other girl, the biological female. He does not have body dysmorphia. He just couldn't, in my opinion, he couldn't win against the guys, so he
no, he
had
couldn't. That's why he did it. Yeah,
be
but guys knew that.
in a girl's body to win on a girl's team. I'm like, oh, that shouldn't even be a thing. Like
That's something
transgender
we will
should
get
not
to
be.
by and by.
They should have their own category of sports against themselves. Not that I'm saying anything bad. If that's your lifestyle, that's your lifestyle. See, this wine got me messed up now. Now I'm like,
Well, no, it all factors in, and that opens a door to a larger discussion that we want to
what, my
address.
Moscato?
No. The Leah Thompsons of the world and how that plays into the larger fabric of Western culture. And like I said, that's something we'll get to a little bit on down the road. Trust me, we gonna get to it. We gonna get to it because a lot of, and it's funny. I was on a post on another group in Facebook where I don't want to give away this because it's going to be coming back. But I'd asked a series of questions. And one of the responses from a female was about transgender men and having to register with Selective Service. And this is how I know the person was full of shit. That she didn't understand Selective Service and the process that goes into it. Now, transgender men are allowed to serve in the military. I just want people to understand where I'm going with this. So when I asked the question about Selective Service, transgender women should have never come into it, because if you don't register by the time you're 26, 25 conceivably, you're locked out. But she's not knowledgeable. So that's why she asked the question. And it was a dumbass question. And after that, I said, you know what? There's no need for me to continue this discussion because she's clueless. So
wait, what was the question?
The post was talking about.
I don't know why I can't hear on my laptop.
Originally, the post was discussing men and the children that they produce. And she was, going on saying if men stop going to Hooters and doing all this and all of this, we wouldn't have all these problems. I'm thinking, do you realize the number of men that do not do those things? But if you don't know, you don't know. And she kept rambling and I'm thinking, it is the same thing goes for men. If every relationship you find yourself in, it ends badly, then why not look at the common denominator as opposed to something that consistently changes? The common denominator is the issue. It's not everything else. But if you listen to a lot of women, like Dr. Dunbar said with the BGS clip, it's all Jermaine's fault. And I asked this question, and I'll present this question here for the listening audience, and I'm not going to give you the answer until some other time. Of course
not.
There's 5 men, okay, and 5 women, okay, 5 men and 5 women, and there are 5 kids. This is not a trick question. Who is responsible for the production of those 5 children? I'll say it again. There are 5 men and 5 women and 5 children. Who is responsible for the production of those 5 children? Like I said, I'm not going to give you the answer.
The baby daddy.
And it's not a trick question.
It's the baby daddy. Because he chose to contribute the sperm.
Which one? There's 5 men.
Let's blame it on the baby daddy this time and not the baby mama.
No. You see, you're missing the point. Which man? There's 5 kids.
The man that the 5 kids belong to.
Which one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All 5 of them belong to the man that procreated that donated that sperm.
You're not giving me a number.
You didn't ask for a number. You said who?
I said which one.
Yeah, but that's not asking for a number. That's asking who.
Which number? Man number 1, man number 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Okay, Herbert, now you're making yourself a little bit more clear.
Well, jeez.
You said which one, which can be interpreted as the female baby mamas or the male.
No. Which 5 women is the mother? Which of the 5 women is the mother? Which of the 5 men is the father?
We'll say 2 women.
How do you know?
Have 2 kids, and
that's why I said
one woman has no kids, and one woman has 1 kid.
How do you know?
Because I'm making up the rest of the story.
You can't do that
Why can't I?
because that wasn't part of the given information.
But I'm giving the rest of the.
No. You have to answer the question with what was provided.
I don't have to do anything.
Well, you're absolutely correct. My mother, before she departed, said all she had to do was stay black and die. She achieved that.
That's right. All I got to do is stay Armenian and die.
Okay, but that's the
Okay,
information.
well,
You can't add
explain
anything. You
further,
can't subtract
Herbert.
anything. Say it again.
Explain a little
I'm not
further.
going to do that. No, that's the information. There's five women, 5 men, 5 kids. Who's responsible for the production of the children?
The doctor that delivered them.
No, he had nothing to do with the production of the children.
5 women. 5 women.
The 5 men and the 5 women.
How do you know?
Because I just said so.
It's incorrect.
And what I say usually goes.
Well, this is not usual time, ma'am.
It's not my time.
It's not. No, it's not the usual time.
It's the women.
Okay, explain further, Herbert.
I just did.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I just did. For all we know, 4 of the women could be infertile.
Okay. So who's responsible? I said the baby daddy. Whoever contributed the sperm to procreate.
How do you know? How do you know beyond a shadow of a doubt with 100% certainty who the mother is and who the father is? There's a larger explanation that I'll get to when I provide the answer. Just won't be
Like
tonight.
Medea said, Dina.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't watch Tyler Perry movies. I refuse to.
Oh, I do.
Why you don't watch Tyler
David
Perry?
Lorenzo, do you get
Perry movie? Tyler Perry does nothing good, in my opinion, for the heterosexual black man.
why
My
not?
personal opinion.
DNA, Dina.
I have the ribonucleic
you
acid.
wouldn't-
Is that what you're talking about?
Hmm?
I said you're talking about the ribonucleic acid.
Mm-hmm.
That's what DNA means to me.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's what I'm referring to. That's how you
Okay.
find out who's the mama and who's the daddy.
But you don't need to go that far.
Like paternity court.
You're thinking too deep.
Oh my gosh, just spill the beans, Herbert.
I just said
I
I'm
don't
not
have
gonna
the
go
mental
back there.
capacity to think right now.
It's not
It's-
required.
As shallow as you're saying it is.
It's not required. Sometimes
Sometimes the answer
information-
hits you right in the face.
sometimes the information necessary isn't provided. This is a question that will be asked on a police test or a police exam, on a civil service exam for a police department.
Whoever claims the kids, that's who.
Nah.
The government.
Government can't be the father of a child. Sorry. Can be the provider, can't be the father. We see that happen often.
Okay,
Stick
one
a fork in it.
Yeah.
father is responsible.
I will reveal the answer, just not tonight.
Herbert,
Sorry.
you killing
Sorry.
me, Smalls.
I know. I know. Got a fish in the hook.
Let it be. Let it be.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Seeking songs of
I'm
wisdom.
beating Herbert to death.
Mhm.
Beat you with a straw broom.
That's okay. Just don't leave any marks.
Well, for me,
So, anyways, I have dated not at my level.
what'd you say?
I said I have dated some guys that are not at my same level of attractiveness. And my
Oh, sorry to hear
friends,
that.
No.
Sorry to hear that.
Why are you sorry to hear that?
Because I refuse to.
You refuse to what?
I refuse to date a female who I do not believe is at my level of attractiveness. Now, with that being said, I'm willing to compromise on certain things. And for me, physical attractiveness varies with other things that she might bring to the table. So,
With what?
other things she might bring to the table.
Like what?
Other things she might bring to the table.
Okay, which are?
From September to February, when I say I don't want to be bothered on Sundays, she don't bother me. She don't leave me alone to watch my football. She don't ask questions. She don't text. She don't
And what
call.
if they play on Monday?
She understands that.
No, you can listen to the football game on the radio. We've
I
already
see.
established that.
See. Now, in order for that to happen, she's got to be a dime piece. See how that
okay.
works?
Okay.
Let's see how that works.
I think with some of it, when the attraction isn't there, sometimes it's about communication, laughter, and just overall a good time. Do you have a good time with this person?
Yeah.
Oh, I had a
At the end
great
of the
time
day.
with that person.
And I think when you have those times, do you yearn for more? Like, because when you don't, you like, okay, you'll find anyway, or the communication just falls off. So I think that's the bigger thing, because this person may not be, you may not be totally attracted to them, or obviously it may be more people that you may be attracted to, but you say to yourself, man, I had a time with her, man, or I had a time with him, and we had a good time. We always have a good time. The laughter, the enjoyment, the reminiscing, and all this stuff keeps you coming back for more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not always that perfect body woman or that cock diesel dude or whatever the case is. Do you have the ability to laugh?
And
Do you walk away?
I also like to be catered to.
Say what?
So if a man can, I said I also like to be. Hold on. I also like to be catered to. So if a man can cater to me,
some old different shit. We ain't even talking
and
about
he's
that.
good looking, I'm good with that. And he's bringing me coffee in bed for breakfast and some breakfast sausage. I'm good with that.
See, here you go. Talk about DGs again. You're off the beaten
Huh?
path.
I'm talking about what? What'd you say, Herbert? I said coffee and breakfast in bed.
Yes, we know what you said, but we know what you meant.
What I mean.
We're talking about the initial stage. If he's doing all that, he's already in. Breakfast in bed and all that stuff. Okay.
Not necessarily.
What? Oh, he left and then he just came back to serve you coffee in bed?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck out of here with that shit. Don't
Honey, come on now. There are guys like that.
Yeah, she got him open,
I'm
huh?
110% worth it.
Yes.
She got him open.
So you put a so as an adult, you put him out. Then he went his way. You were still in your confines of your bed, and he came back to serve you coffee in bed.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
What did he ride? The short bus to get there to serve you the coffee?
Mm-mm. A black Corvette.
Then he something's going on with his BDD. he got some issues going on because I ain't doing all that.
Well, you may not be doing all that. Yeah. That's why you ain't in my bed. How about that?
Well, according to what you said, he isn't either.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't say that.
You just did.
Yeah.
No.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, here we go again.
but there might not be nothing else going on. But in the morning, he can get up and make me breakfast and coffee and
See, you,
serve
you,
me.
you, 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 you better believe that Moscato alone. We just said that the guy left and he came back to your house, and you was like, "Oh, people will do that. Let it go."
They will. Guys
See,
will.
let me let you in on a little secret, Anita. You're dealing with some witty guys that'll pay attention. So you can't run that flim flam on us, whatever. So this is why you get clipped. This is why this ends up being a clip. Yeah, this is why you end up getting
We love
clipped.
you anyway.
No. What's wrong with that? Why can't a guy leave my house and come back in the morning and serve me?
We didn't say anything was wrong with it. What we're asking you was the inconsistencies.
What do you mean inconsistencies? Explain, Herbert.
We cannot, because you're not. If you understood what you were saying and how it was inconsistent, you would understand. We don't have to explain it to you.
See,
Whatever.
most guys, their thing gonna be, why the hell did I have to leave in the first place?
Right.
To go get me
That-
breakfast.
No, you made it seem like, oh, at the end of the night, like, all right, I'm going to bed. He leaves, and then he's gonna come back and serve you breakfast. His logic gonna be like, I could have just stayed there, and it would have been an easier little thing for him to. It's more of a reward for him to do, like, all right, I stayed the night. I'm gonna get up and do something nice instead of going back to his house, then coming back over. Not too many people gonna go for that.
Yeah.
Unless you got somebody that's their confidence or their esteem is not where it's supposed to be.
Wrong.
Okay, well, you made that think differently, but I beg
I
to
mean, you
differ.
got to really work to get me. And if I'm just gonna have sex with you and put you out, it's not because I don't respect myself. It's because I don't respect you. And he's
But
still
why
gonna
would that?
bring
Why
me
would that
breakfast in the
individual?
morning and coffee.
Why would that individual return?
To bring me coffee and breakfast.
So it's, as I said earlier, he's open, which plays into the whole concept that we were talking about when I said that some men will tell a woman and some women will tell a man, I'm not stopping you from leaving. If you want to leave.
That's right.
But you're not saying that. You're saying,
I don't have to say that.
oh, hold on.
I said what I
What
said, Herbert.
No. You didn't say anything to the guy. You said what he's going to do is leave and then come back.
That's
Most
right.
rational men, if they leave, they stay gone.
Or what if I tell them, okay, you've been infatuated with me for hold on,
See,
Herbert.
now you're changing the parameters.
I'm not changing. It's a different scenario altogether. Okay.
Make it work for you.
Yeah. It's your world. I'm just a squirrel.
'Cause
Okay.
That I ain't checking. Not too many people checking for that.
Well, if he's bringing me coffee for breakfast, then he's still trying to conquer something.
Hey, I am just a person in the audience watching the movie.
And that may be the case. He may do that, or you may have someone and you may contact him. Could you bring me coffee? And he may say, actually, somebody's bringing me breakfast.
I'll be like,
Rewrite.
I'll say, okay, let me dial a different number.
That cut like that. I need to stop. Please stop. Stop.
Because I'm worth it. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm worth it.
You
It's
got
not
people
all
on
hard work.
standby, huh? Bringing you coffee, huh?
I mean, if somebody's been infatuated with me for, let's see, 30 years,
What
and
have I been taught?
I tell them fuck off. I don't want to hit it and quit it. I don't want to sex you. I don't want to NSA. I don't want to friends with benefits. And he's still texting me. Then what? I'm still trying to
So,
That
conquer
means
something.
that
yeah,
means we haven't blocked his number.
yeah. So,
That
so what have
too.
I been saying a lot about guys? They like to travel the path of what?
Least resistance.
Okay. So many guys are not. If they are, and you doing all this after all this time, you may have to question like, this dude just something ain't right. That ain't
That's
even a
what I said. That's
challenge
what
to
he
you. You don't
said.
even want. You don't even want that guy any. Well, because most women want a guy that's a challenge. That you put him out, and no matter what, basically it seemed like you mistreating him. Because more than likely you put him out, and then Melvin or Jermaine is over there and shit. But they had to run out. Now you want this guy Scotty to come and bring you coffee or whatever. Nah.
Yeah, Scotty Too Hottie is going to McDonald's, getting me my breakfast burritos and my coffee and hash brown, and he's coming over. And
Yeah,
yeah,
just to bring you the coffee. But Melvin
and
and
breakfast.
Jermaine, and I'm not saying
Melvin
both.
and Jermaine's gonna have to wait for their day.
They
I
whatever
got
they
them
got to.
penciled in each day.
So now they're in rotation.
They're
Yeah,
on rotation. Mm-hmm. They're on
keep
rotation.
keep
Like
on
I said,
talking.
I'm just in the audience watching the movie.
Eh, Keep on talking, Anita.
I'm serious. Until I don't want to play that anymore, then I'll be like, okay, Scotty's the only one who can bring me coffee in bed
Yeah,
and
because
serve.
Scotty,
Scotty is
Scotty has
playing
been
checkers.
beamed up.
Yeah,
Scotty has been beamed up aboard the USS Enterprise. He's no longer interested.
Oh, Scotty will still be interested.
yeah. Until he finds something, till he finds something to say. You know what? I don't have to go through all that hassle. She actually let me stay the whole night over. So that's where I've been. Because you'll be like, I haven't heard from you in a while. And yeah, I was busy at work, but kind of met a new friend. He's staying over there. He's not getting
No,
put out. He's not getting put out. See, sometimes you could just listen from a guy's perspective and kind of get into the guy's mental state. Not saying that this is universal, but it's seasoned veterans talking to you. And sometimes it's about listening.
this is yeah. Okay, okay. I got you. I got
That's
you.
all. That's all. That's all.
And I know Scotty, Melvin, and Jermaine. I just waiting for my text. Like,
Just waiting on
I
your what?
wonder when I wonder when she's gonna want coffee next.
No, what you said? They waiting on your text.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They're in rotation, just like
Melvin,
just like
Melvin ain't waiting on that shit. I
just
could
like
tell you that.
just like some guys can put men in women in rotation. Good morning, boy. Please take me out of the rotation.
You like
I
that
don't know nothing
rotation
about
shit.
that type of rotation. That don't.
You only in that. You only will be in that rotation if you giving that guy something that's enhancing him to want to text you
Yeah,
every morning.
yeah.
Because if you just say
I'm
good
not doing
morning
that.
and that's it, sooner or later that shit fizzle out.
Well, I don't know why a couple guys keep texting me then, and I ain't texting back.
You
Hope
ain't
springs
texting back.
eternal.
Yeah, or they just not where
Or I tell them
they
F you.
They struggling from
Or
BDD.
fuck off.
What's their
And
issue?
they
What's their
still
issue?
text me,
So
sleep
so
well,
so what?
sweetheart.
Why are you giving them that treatment? Do they suffer from BDD?
Why am I giving them what treatment?
Kind of the cold shoulder. They're saying good morning and you don't text them back. Why are you giving them that treatment?
Because I'm not interested.
Why not?
There's many reasons.
Give me two.
Okay, one, if a guy has been infatuated with me for 30 years, he just wants to conquer it. And it's a goal. And I don't want to be a goal. I want to
30
be,
years.
I want somebody to invest in me.
30 years. Shit, that seems like it's investment. You just ain't give them an opportunity to move forward. 30 years? Who the frick gonna be trying to holler at somebody for 30 years and keep getting the same treatment?
Yeah, I don't know too many men like that.
You don't know too many, but you. So
Yeah.
if you don't know too many, you might know a few.
Well,
Yeah, dude, they're in jail.
Yeah.
'Cause the motherfuckers-
These ones aren't in jail.
his options.
Prison, jail, nothing. And two, because I want somebody that is worth my time. I'm not looking for no strings attached or FWB. Excuse me.
So somebody
Sometimes
been
those
trying to
best
get with
ones.
you for.
I will accept a date, but
Those are the best people. You ain't got to
But you
worry
run-
about their mental state.
You run a raggedy program, Anita.
yeah, you do. I don't want nobody stalking me.
Nah, y'all meet at a hotel, handle your business and go.
Better be a nice hotel.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Better be some rose petals and some candles and some
Hey, I'm just saying. You give
Marvin
out information.
Gaye.
What
out
you
some
know about
information.
Marvin Gaye? Stop.
You're giving out information. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Um,
You ain't be getting my sheets dirty. I gotta walk up and down these damn basement stairs to wash them.
well, hell, while he's bringing you coffee, have him do the laundry.
Good
Might
good
as well.
idea.
Might as well strip the bed and say, when you come back and bring my coffee, could you stop by the laundromat and wash these sheets? Because
Yeah,
his dumb ass to do it.
yeah. He's waiting
No,
30
you just need
years.
to go down to the basement and learn how to work my washer and dryer.
Either way.
Either way,
Well, people,
if I like somebody or if I'm at that stage where I want to date and progressively get to know somebody, I want them to progressively get to know me.
Well, he tried. He
Basically,
tried for
this is
30
the-
years. He tried for 30 years, and you shot him down.
Okay. It don't mean nothing now. I'm almost 50 years old.
Shame on him.
I'm a whole different person than I was 30 years ago.
Clearly, you never said anything for him to say, okay, let me.
I
walk
always
away.
had a boyfriend, the same boyfriend.
You ain't always had the same boyfriend. Stop.
In high school,
Plead-
I had the
plead the-
same boyfriend.
Plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Don't incriminate yourself.
No, in
That's what
high
you do.
school, I had one boyfriend. One
We're
serious
not,
boyfriend.
we're not
Yeah.
saying that you
Yeah.
didn't. We're talking over the 3 decades.
Yeah.
Plead the fifth. Take the fifth.
Okay.
Yeah, Warden,
Take the
get her ass and take her ass to jail. Yeah, like if I was a judge, I'd like get her ass out by court, whatever.
I
Stop.
request deferred adjudication for legal counsel.
Yeah, stop. Listen, we about to
Oh,
get some
yeah,
closing
I-
comments. Your ass was on a hot seat again. Because you know what? When I played that clip a couple weeks ago, when you had this from the last show, you had this hot date, and Willie A. Price Speaks said, "Are you seeing him again?" He says, "None of your concerns." Had you on the hot seat then. If it was good, then y'all would have it. You better recruit some more girls to come on here. You better dig up all of your Miami crew girls, Miami housewives when y'all was living life,
We
cause
had a
your
good time.
ass, yeah, cause we
Mhm.
got you on the. You've been getting roasted the last couple times over here.
Am I still here? Do I
You still
care?
here?
Am I
Like
still
Marcia
here?
said, Anita, you playing dangerous games.
I don't see that comment. I do not see that comment.
You
It's
playing
there.
I'm in
dangerous games.
competition with no one, just like Marcia. I'm in competition with no one.
You playing dangerous games.
Mm-mm. Nope. I want my coffee in bed, hot.
The only
No
way you
ice
go get
coffee.
coffee in bed from a real G, if he stayed there and he said, "All right, let me get up. Give me your keys, because I don't want to run out my gas. Give me the keys to your whip so I can go get the coffee.
He ain't
And
getting
where
the
your
keys to the Jeep.
and where
He
your
can drive
card at?
his
And where your
ass.
card at?"
Uh-uh. No. I'm paying for my own coffee.
Wow.
I mean, if I have a
He,
Tim
he,
Hortons gift
he
card, I'll
got the
pay
keys
for
to
it.
the Jeep. Ooh.
Listen, needed. You just give us more content to talk about. That's all.
That's fine. That's
Appreciate
fine
you.
because it's all fun and games until it ain't.
Actually, none of the stuff. We joke around. We make light of the situation, but this subject tonight was not a game because, again, there's people out here they struggling with this stuff,
Yeah.
No, you're right.
and they're not comfortable with who they are. They could post how many pictures they want to and do what they want to do, and like, yo, I'm here living my best life, but they hurting inside.
Where's
Yeah.
Willie? Where's Willie? Willie Price Speaks.
I don't know what happened with Will. I
Posting
sent
the
him the
same
thing.
picture in Planet Fitness.
Uh, calling Willie out. Calling Willie out.
You know it's true.
No comment. No comment. I don't know about
Hmm.
that. Well, Marcia, she said, personally, I am in. Was this an old comment? Yeah, this is
Yeah,
old. No, okay.
she is in no competition with anybody, and neither am I. You either want me or you don't. Because for everybody that don't, there's somebody that does.
Cheap Trick made a song saying, I want you to want me.
Who sings that song, Herbert?
But
Cheap Trick. I just said it.
in
Oh,
all
I
in
didn't
all
hear you.
Didn't catch
reality,
the joke, did you?
What?
in all
Didn't catch the joke, did you?
Yeah, I caught it.
Okay.
in all reality, do y'all really think that there is no competition?
If somebody doesn't make it a competition, if I don't make it a competition, it's not a competition. Either you want to, either you want me or you don't. I'm not in competition with nobody because if somebody's gonna pick that over this, bye.
You're only not in competition when the person you're trying to deal with don't have no options.
That's not true.
Okay.
If I you wait a minute. You're
Yeah,
saying if I don't have any options,
if
No,
he
the
doesn't
individual
have
that's
no options.
pursuing you.
if he
Yeah.
doesn't have any options,
Yeah.
Right.
whatever. I don't believe that.
Because if he have options, you're in competition.
No,
Whether you
if I
know it or
Overall,
don't
not.
give him a chance,
Huh?
I'm not in competition if I don't give him a chance. If I don't like him to begin with,
but we're presuming that you are carrying on with conversation with him. He's part of
don't
the coffee
presume.
rotation.
Don't presume. We won't have no problems.
I'm just saying based on our conversation right here. If he doesn't have any options,
We're laughing.
there's no competition. He has nothing else.
That's right. Whatever.
Marinate on that. Marinate on that
Melvin
when you
and
curl up.
Jermaine got competition. Okay. Because
Yeah.
Scotty Too Hottie is bringing it. Hot coffee.
Lucky
Cold
I got a
breakfast.
2 hour delay. I got to go check the weather, see if that snow's still on the ground because they need to shut it down. They need to shut it down here. I'll take the 2 hour delay.
I got 3 what do you call it? Damn, never mind.
Well, Herb, man, the NFC East is so whack. They just got their ass beat down
I
this
got many
week.
forms of egress.
The Eagles did too. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to it.
4.
Yeah, they losing 32-9. That shit. So it's
Who?
just so crappy.
Who's losing?
Oh boy.
The Eagles.
The Eagles against the Lions.
So man, yeah. From what I see on social media, all the Eagles fans, the Cowboys fans, the Steelers fans, myself. But I kind of took the approach
The
this.
terrible towel.
I
Wait,
took the
you're a
approach.
Steelers
Anita,
fan?
Anita,
Terrible towel?
hush, unless you know you understand what we saying. Hush.
I'm talking about the terrible towel.
Yeah, the terrible towels. I kind of took the stance that I knew if we won, we're not a good team to even to go on advance in the playoffs. So that's why I was saying Steelers is my number one team, Buffalo number two, but I knew Buffalo is more built for the long run. So it was a win-win situation for me today that Buffalo carries on and they play Kansas City, the defending champs, see if they can dethrone them, whatever. Pittsburgh wasn't about to do much, not with their quarterback situation.
I just don't know what to make of Dallas. I'm just like
I know what to make of them. Trash. As Bubba Dub says, trash. All right, we're going to get some closing comments. We're going to get out of here. Don't be surprised if it ain't no clips coming out tonight from this broadcast.
We don't want no clip.
Oh, you're going to get clips. You're
Unless
get at least
Willie
3 or
is going
4.
to take a different selfie and some different clothes and a different smile than his
You coming
British.
for Willie. You know Willie watching. He ain't came on, but you coming for Willie. So you know me, I clip that. I'm an instigator, so I might clip that you calling Willie out.
Nice,
Because y'all been kind of going back and forth. I done seen the little banter between y'all in the counselor's corner. You've been coming for Willie.
Hey, I'm not intimidated
Yeah.
by Willie or no man. Okay.
We love you, Anita. We love you.
I love you
We
guys
love
too.
you for your boldness of coming on, and we haven't ran you off.
No, it's gonna take more than Herbert's snide comments to run me off. Or his riddles.
I'm just I'll
I
answer
got Herbert stuttering.
in due time. It's part of the
I got
cytoplasm.
Herbert stuttering.
Never.
Okay,
Right,
you
Anita,
heard him
ladies
stutter.
first. Ladies
David
first.
Lorenzo, you
Closing
heard him
I
stutter.
heard it. Closing comments. Which overall, not just this that your overall thought process of what was said in the BDD and all that stuff. What's your closing comment?
Who said it? Miss Lovato is it's okay not to be okay, or was that Selena Gomez? It's okay not to be okay. I think everybody needs counseling. Everybody got something to learn from counseling. Whether, okay, Herbert, the one who don't think he needs counseling, whether it's working on your attachment styles, your trauma, your BDD, your OCD, your whatever. Everybody could benefit from counseling, especially Willie speaks the truth.
Damn.
And
Another comeback.
and his same posted selfies.
Ooh-wee.
Grimace. I told him his smile looks better than his grimace, so I don't know why he's always trying to grimace.
Man, I might have let him know he need to come on. People come. Well, I think he knows. Willie knows people come for him, and I think he likes to smoke whatever, and he's
He likes
prepared
the
for it.
attention. He likes the attention.
But
He ain't
yeah,
got nobody. That's why he likes the attention.
2020,
Oh,
2024 is about that Cat Williams shit. Well, people gonna get called out on stuff, whatever. People gonna get called out. Herb, closing comment.
What is a body?
What?
What is a body?
What is a body?
Is it a temporary vehicle that's going to shuttle us from the here to the now? Is it some place where we house how we feel? I don't know. I don't have the answer. What I do know is this: every day that you are above ground is the day that you can address your issues, provided that you want to. And if you do, then do so in a manner that's healthy. And if you can't, don't take anybody else with you. See, humans have a propensity to want to destroy if they can't build. And that is unhealthy. I, on the other hand, I live by a simple philosophy. If I can't help you, I'm not going to hurt you. So, yes, I'm going to say this here and now. I'm one of those few people that doesn't need therapy. You know why? Because I talk to my therapist every day.
Your cats?
I asked her.
Lucky?
He's okay. He said I was done all right by him. So I asked, what have I done wrong today? What can I improve? And that's what I do. Every day above ground is a day I have the chance to master myself. And that's what I choose to do. And as always, growth and understanding the curves in the gray area. Godspeed. See you next time.
All right, all right. For me, with all of this, we all got our flaws. We all got issues. We all got struggles that we go through. It's how you handle it and how you cope with it is what matters. Do you go out and say, "Hey, um, let me get this procedure done," or "Let me post to the world, I just got downloaded this app to look like this or look like that." Because at the end, it's just like putting a band-aid on something. Band-aids get old, they come off, doesn't work. You'll just keep putting band-aids on over and over. Or do you face it and say, "Hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to be. Somebody's going to accept me for who I am." And it may be the very same person that went through the same struggles as you, and y'all come with a united front. Y'all walk off into the sunset. Just got to think about that. Hey, like I told y'all the story earlier, I could have got a procedure done to remove my birthmark. Then I wouldn't have been who I am. I'd have been looking at myself every day saying, "I look stupid. I look stupid without this." So how many of y'all are looking at yourself in the mirror after these procedures and say, "I look stupid"? Don't be stuck on stupid people. I'm out. On to the next one. See you next time. Everybody enjoy their week. Stay warm, stay safe. And again, we
Yeah.
always talk about this message. People are getting sick. This flu A, flu B, COVID, whatever. Folks is getting sick. Shit
Oh,
ain't
yeah,
going
I
away.
just got over COVID. It sucked.
Daphne said, "Amen, Herb. Heavy on the master, on yourself." And shout
All
out
right.
to you, Daphne. Happy belated birthday.
Yes, indeed.
Happy birthday.
And
Don't forget to
we
file your AARP paperwork.
you know she gonna get you. If she don't miss a beat, she gonna get you. All right, people. Like I said, everybody, stay warm, be well, stay safe. And you know, people, it's that time of the year. People getting sick, so
Yeah.
just take care of yourself, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
All right, people. Y'all take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.